We've got to that point again in the week when I want to talk about your comments. And one comment came up which drew my attention. It's from a person called Ken Peterson. And it's a sort of throwaway comment, which I love the throwaway. I love things which are intended to be ephemeral because those are the things which last. And when we are not thinking about something and we're just sort of throwing something away, we often say something which is unbelievably pertinent and relevant and defines ourselves. So Ken has said there's an easy solution to not giving Liz Truss any more time, and that's to ignore the whole thing. Politics is all nonsense, he says. When Theresa May was Prime Minister, I didn't even know who was Prime Minister. All people care about is S. Oh, and he's got S with two asterisks. You can fill in the detail there for yourself. And attraction. If someone that Tim Wilson was super attracted to was Prime Minister, he'd probably be way more lenient with him or with her. This is all just a workaround to Tim Wilson not liking Vladimir Putin and trying to get at Vladimir Putin. Well, actually, I think Ken puts his finger on something quite important. First of all, I think the ephemeral is essential, but secondly, I think personality is fundamental. So politicians are always keen to say that it's always about the issues. The issues are important. Well, they are, but they're still going out with posters slapped with big pictures of themselves saying me, me, me. And I think when all is said and done, they recognize that it's the image and the brand which attracts people to vote for them. The issues are secondary. And the issues, I think, in the end, are really far more important. But that's not what gets the vote. That is my observation. I would love to spend my time talking about the issues, but of course, like everybody else, I'm distracted by the personalities. I also think a person who has a huge personality and can argue the issues will get my attention, certainly, whether they support one issue or another. I have always been I was always incredibly interested in the things that Tony Benn said, in the things that Michael Foot said. I don't know how many of you have heard Michael Foot speak. Sadly, he's no longer with us, but he was a spectacular orator who was up there with Frankie Howerd making and and ooh into verbal punctuation. No, I can't think of any other politician who made a pause and a stammer into a pregnant statement. But that was Michael Foot, and I loved him for it. The other great orators, very few of them are on the right. So many of them were on the left. And Shirley Williams. I was also immensely impressed by Norman St. John Stevens, who was an extraordinarily capable politician and so keen to spread the load. He was the person who invented really the present committee system that we've got in Parliament. And I would still encourage people to look around at the variety of speeches and talks that politicians give on the right, on the left. The two people who, of course, command attention at the moment are out of Parliament. Alistair Campbell and the magnificent Rory Stewart. Both of them spectacular, affable, and utterly bewitching. The rest is politics. Utterly, if you haven't come across that podcast, you have to chase it up immediately. And that idea of political debate is dying. You don't get it in the House of Commons. The House of Commons is now full of people who just want to shout slogans at one another. That's not political debate. That's not informed conversation. That's a slagging match, and that's basically the darker side of an election rally. We need slightly more from our national debate than Liz Truss having bits of paper shoved under her so that she can so that she knows what she's got to say next. I would like to have somebody in power who knew her own mind.